Oh, where's daughter?
Yeah, I like. Sometimes you meet people that don't start talking to you like.
Yeah, affected.
Yeah.
Nope, that's who he is.
And you can tell him his wife, because his wife is like, one time she's like getting me and she works for Hyundai.
They live in a ranch.
That one Tuesday a month you gotta know about for sure.
And you walk to his house and it's just an average, nicely decorated. You walk into the studio and it's
Man, I said there might be a lot of
really.
Is he here at the council? Let's get a local CPA instead of state officer. Somebody.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to spring in Indiana. Our March 20th commissioners meeting. There are Title VI forms on the back table if you care to fill one of those out and turn it in to auditor's office. If you all would, please stand. And I'd like to ask Tim Orton, please, to pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You remain standing. Steve Frenzemeyer will lead us in prayer, please.
Father God, we just invite you into this place this morning. Lord, we ask for your wisdom as decisions are made. We ask for your discernment in all decisions, that they may glorify you in this great town of ours, in this great county that we live in. God, we just thank you for the way that you've blessed this area so much with great people, with great businesses. And Lord, we just ask for your continued blessing over this. We ask this all in your son's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, Steve. Minutes, March 6th. Comments, corrections.
No, I'd move to approve the minutes.
Payroll. Yeah, claims. Anything on claims and so on?
No, I'd move to approve.
Payroll. March 17th.
Move to approve payroll.
Tim Orton.
Basically, we're very much in maintenance mode right now. We're running 4 patch crews right now, running 3 crews right now, cutting brush, got ditching crews on, burning gravel roads right now. So Yeah, we're very much in maintenance mode, transition out of running mode is what we're doing.
It's only 17 years.
I know you weren't the guy. I know Todd is probably the one that did this, but I got a call last week about some guys not being allowed to get CDLs when somebody else was allowed to maybe get a CDL on the county's dime. Do you have any information on that?
I've got a little bit, I've met with HR, and I think that there's one of the issues out there, just,
Sure. Nope. I'll circle back around to you and we can talk later.
I appreciate that.
Thank you,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Tim.
Kenny.
Morning, Charles.
Good morning.
So our last meeting, I had 25 building inspections, 10 new permits and plan reviews. Had one permit renewal. An update on a nuisance letter to a property in St. Omer. Owner says he's cleaning up trash and debris and working on cutting up tires and disposing of them. He said when it gets dry, he's gonna bring in a skid loader and put some stone down and do some more cleanup. Then he's gonna build a privacy fence, he says. They had one new complaint, someone built or put a building too close to the road. I went out and inspected it, and it is a building on runners, on a concrete slab. It's not permanent structure, so nothing I can do. I did a plan review for the truck stop remodel and approved it, and sent them an email, if you go, come and get your permit. And that's all.
Do you know anything about, I'm assuming the final plan review was okay on the deep pro expansion yonder by us, because they.
I'll have to look at it for sure. I think I got the construction design released, but I don't know if I looked at their plans.
You know, there was a question on drainage, and they already got all the dirt moved. I didn't see a permit out there, so.
Yeah, they haven't got, I think they've got the permit. I'll check into it.
You know, anything else, Keith?
I don't think so.
Sean Durbin.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is going to be brief too. Just have a board vacancy. Megan Lanning-Bodden is fulfilling an expired term, and so she's up for reappointment. I'm just asking to go ahead and make that appointment.
To renew her.
Yes.
Does that need a motion?
I think so.
Okay, I'd make that motion.
A second. You're good.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Patty.
Good morning. Just an update from HR. So we have the recruiting policy. Phil Moster following that. Just a reminder that you still need to contact me if you have a job that needs to be posted. Jobs that have been posted were the Veterans Office Assistant and just like the, I guess I haven't, the Parks Department. We're doing the summer mowing. So, and then following that, she'll have something in Camp Rainbow. But getting a few apps for those. The next item that I want to bring up for concern is emergency procedures or lack thereof. So a few weeks past, we had tornado warnings. And I know people in the courthouse did not even hear those alarms. So they did not hear that. And then as a new employee myself, you know, I walked down the hall, I didn't see anything posted. I didn't see any evacuation drills posted anywhere. And I know sometimes we have court upstairs and lots of people here, and I'm just concerned that we're covered in the event of emergencies for fire, for severe weather, tornado. You could go as far as active shooter, but I do want to have those in place, not just for the courthouse, but for outlying buildings too, to keep everybody safe.
Maybe Brad Spears name, Brad's not.
I was just looking.
I'll get in touch with him. And see what we can. I would have thought
It's at minimum, I mean, at least least have some routes posted or where you go for, tornado. Where do you go and meet in the event of a fire? So I'm happy to help with that and put some lists together. I think we need to have that in place. That's it.
Thanks. Abby Harry.
I emailed Janet the ARC grants that we've done, for the past few years. I think the community corrections grant was since 14, the probation 1006 grant was since 17, and then the new problem solving court grant. So this is just, giving you guys our preview of what we'll send to the state when we ask for funding. Just here if you have any questions on that.
We got, she's prepared us a letter, or Patty has prepared us a letter to sign. So, support letter.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Anything else you need?
No, sir.
Rick Nobby.
Good morning, everyone. Just following up on last month's meeting about the broadband ready ordinance. I've got that in front of you. I think you guys had given it to your attorney to go over. So I'm just here to answer any questions, so hopefully pick up the executed document and turn it into the state.
No, the corrections have been made that we noted last time. So I think at this point I'd move to approve that resolution.
Do you have a resolution number that would go
I was
on?
getting ready to ask Janet.
The 2023-2.
You said you want 3 of them signed?
I don't think should be 2 of them there that you need to sign, and then one of them is the APC's document.
Okay, it's right here.
That's the APC one.
There's no place, we don't sign it, correct?
That was just for the APC's. If Janet has this copy.
I don't have any.
I just slid that one.
I bet this one, yes.
Okay, so this one is the one I'll take to the state, so.
Do you want to hold the test?
Yeah, sure, yeah, please. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you for doing that, Rick.
I'll check with Brian on that.
I was gonna say, because I was gonna record this. Always record.
Very good.
Harold Callahan, you are up.
Okay, I got a situation with a pond leaking on me. Drainage is draining down into my home. The guy's name's Nicholas Coleman. He built a pond 2 years ago. And last summer, it started leaking. And it's running down into my field. And I was wondering if you guys could shed any light on how I could take care of this, because I talked to Mary Woodruff, Scott Sanders, Brad Shooty, and Dave Osborne out of Ripley County. He's supposedly affiliated with Purdue on pond leakages and stuff. And he says the pond is leaking. I talked to Ed Johanneman, he built it. And he says that the pond's not leaking. but, I've got the before and after pictures of, aerial pictures showing that, it is leaking. And it's, last summer we had all that hot weather. It was like, what, 4 months there, it didn't rain at all. And there was water in my field the whole time. And the guy that farms it, you know, I'd like to get this taken care of if possible. And now, I'm in the process of taking the guy to court. I don't know, you want to see these pictures? Sure. Some more here too. Probably this is the one you want to see. This is the before, this was before, and this is when they built, after they built it. And I realize the water will run, I mean, it is a little valley there, and I know when it rains, water does get in there, but it dries up, you know, before farm time. But now, it's just water in my field, probably 500-600 feet, runs down into my field. And these guys that farm it, I don't want to tore up any worse than what it already is. And I've got estimates on what it'll cost to get it fixed.
Where is it leaking at?
I have glasses on here.
I guess it'd be right here on that.
Yeah, this is my field here. Yeah,
So,
right here.
yeah, so it's real clear on this one. You can tell there's a little bit there,
Right. This
but the wash
probably
depth,
should.
like, the wash depth only got bigger.
And I've got pictures on my phone. I've got pictures here that I had my daughter taken. They're not real good pictures, but it's pretty hard to show a water leak, you know what I'm saying? Here you can see, you just look at all those. And this is the estimate that I got from the guy that's going to fix it. If I can get it.
Well, as you and I have talked,
Right, he was there and seen it.
it's not a commissioner thing. I agree that you have a problem. I think the answer to fixing it is tiling through that waterway. Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's what it costs to get it, fix it. And then the whole north to south part of that field on the top, on the high side, it lays wet all the time now. You want to see these?
I've been there, done that.
Okay. I'm just trying to, and I have Dave Osborne's number if you, I don't know if you guys know him or not. He's affiliated with Purdue. And I had him come and look at it, and he says the pond is leaking.
Yeah, Harold, I think you have a civil issue here. So if you have a court case, it's all right.
We're talking buku much of money when we go to civil court, and then there's nothing to guarantee me that they'll rule in my favor. So all I'm trying to do is, if I need to take the guy to small claims court, I'm just trying to jump through all the hoops before I do anything, Have I got a legitimate bitch show about this? Or?
I can't comment on the legitimacy of that. I can't tell you if you've got a good claim or not. This is something that falls outside of what we can do.
Well, I want the record to show that I was here. I like to have something showing that I was here. If I happen to go to court, I'll have that at least part of that too.
Have you and Mr. Coleman spoke?
He wants it fixed. He wants it fixed, but Ed Johanna won't fix it.
Well, I'm sure
He
there's
says
some,
it's not leaking.
if he wants it fixed, I'm sure there's somebody else that can run tile. If we let him run tile.
Well, yeah, I did have estimates there, that would run the tile for me. But why should I pay $10,000 out of my pocket because somebody else built a pond and it's leaking out on me? You know what I'm saying? So if I go to civil court, like I said, there's no guarantee and it's gonna cost buku bunch of money to go that way. So I guess I'll have to take it to small claims court. Is that possible? Am I?
Here's the other issue too. So I'm an attorney. I can't give you legal advice on that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I can't give you legal advice on if you have a good claim or if you are gonna be successful or anything like that. Okay. So it's a little bit of a different situation, so I can't tell you that.
Well, I know what you're saying, but, I just want the record to show that I was here and I was complaining about it. And, Nicholas Coleman, he wants it fixed, but Ed Johanna won't fix it. They did come back and dig on the dam. And Dave Osborne said that's a definite no-no, dig on the dam and put the clay, whatever they supposedly block it with. And that pond is 19 feet deep and it's not full yet. You know what I'm saying? And it probably never will get full as long as it's leaking in my field. So, what do I do? I'm asking for your guys' opinion. And if I can't get that, then I guess I'll have to go send it back.
Well, I don't think the commissioners can do
Pardon me?
anything. I don't think the commissioners can do anything in this particular situation.
Well, Dave Osborne said there should be some kind of policy in there saying that the commissioner should have some kind of I forget, some kind of grant or something, or state or something like this.
I don't think we'd be paying to have a private landowner's pond restructured or sealed up so that their pond is better.
Right. Okay. I just, like I said, can you give me something showing that I've been here?
It'll be on the minutes that are going to be approved at the next meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, thank you, people.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too.
Facebook page discussion.
Yep, that was something that I asked to have put on there. So in talking with some of the other department heads in the county, some other department heads have mentioned that they would also like to have a Facebook page, but from hearing from me previously that we were looking at getting a Facebook page. It sounds like maybe doing a county Facebook page, not just a commissioner's page, is maybe the route to go. And so I just kind of wanted to bring up a couple of ideas here and get your input here today, Mark, to kind of see if this is something that you'd like to see happen as well, in addition to my thoughts on it, because I think it'd be a great idea. But what I was looking at here, to be able to use it for a county Facebook page, is that we could provide updates for road conditions for the clerk's office, for their voting locations that they were talking about at the last meeting. We can provide additional updates and provide easier access to things like the meeting minutes and the meeting agendas for both county council and for the commissioners. I do want to ensure that we have limited access. I've talked with Dave Henderson previously to make sure that we would be able to ensure that if one of us were to leave, get voted out, whatever it might be, that we would have access to that Facebook account. So we would have to have, I would imagine, IT, at least one commissioner that would have access to the Facebook page, and also want to make sure that we're only posting official government business, that any of the posting that would actually be going on for whichever department would actually be going through one of those individuals that have access to it. So we wouldn't be allowing all department heads to be able to get on, log in, and post something. It does raise concerns. I mean, we all see it on Facebook when it gets to the negative discussions for things that are going on. And being a government organization, then if we're going to have to be in a position where we either don't allow comments or we don't delete comments just due to being a government entity. We could be running into some First Amendment issues there. So I just wanted to get your thoughts and start the discussion on this before I get too far down the road as far as creating some kind of a policy for it.
Well, my first impression or first comment is I don't do Facebook, so I get bashed enough in public. I don't need to.
Well, then you can be the one that does it.
I don't even need to have the invitation out there.
Thank you, Mark.
You know, I believe the county has a web page.
We do.
Aren't we spending a bunch of money for a redesign? And
Yep, we are.
why do we need to, I guess?
So Facebook's not going to cost us anything. And I know just from my personal use of it, when I post the meeting minutes, it's people that aren't going to the Decatur County website as it is right now to look for those meeting minutes. They aren't going to come around to see where they're physically posted either. And so it's going to be one of those things that it's going to just have easier access for people to actually see what information is going on right now, what events are going on here in the county or with the county government, so that folks actually have a little bit more information going on.
Yes, I'll publicly say I'm not in favor of it, but
Sure.
if you want to give it a whirl, I'm not going to be the administrator.
I'll keep working on it. We'll see where we go. Yep.
Anyone else want? Dottie's gone. Are there any other counties that have Facebook pages, Josh?
Yeah, there are a lot that do. We've kind of talked internally extensively on this, just due to kind of some of the issues that Jeremy brought up as well, making sure you have multiple admins, the policy of whether you allow comments or delete. I do think with the new county website redesign, with department heads having access to their portion of the site to be able to post and kind of do things themselves, and working with HR and new policies, I think having that single site on that platform would probably be a good thing, even if it's just redirecting people to specific departments' Facebook web page. So instead of every department trying to run their own Facebook and having it, which some do, I think that would be good, but not necessarily to be duplicating all your efforts doing everything on Facebook that you're trying to do on the county website. Kind of just using that as the platform roadside that gets people to the county website.
Have a pay app number 6 for the county highway department to present to redevelopment for $265,978.55 for that.
What's the work being done for this one?
It's concrete work, I'm guessing. It doesn't go into that on this pay app. If you've been out there building, I'm told, or many buildings framed up.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, I've moved to approve.
Request for use of facilities. Patty, you want to?
This Betsy Von Graham, she came in to the courthouse and asked to use the facility. She had a couple dates in mind. The first one was March 27th. Betsy is wanting to advocate for the homeless and the need she feels in the county for a homeless shelter. So what she wanted to do was set up a tent and stay on the courthouse lawn to show the need for homeless. So Betsy was given the form to fill out, like everybody is, the request for use of facilities. And then she was told that she would have to have the insurance just like everybody does. So she has not brought the proof of insurance yet. I did call her back on Friday and tell her if she wanted to come camp on the courthouse grounds, she did have to have that insurance. So I don't think she's gonna be able to do that. I believe she may come that day and maybe, I don't know, I don't wanna say protest, but, have a sign and try to get the awareness out there in the community. She's, has gone, I think, a few other places in Greensburg to try to get this discussion going. So that's within her rights if she wants to come and do that, but that's all I know about that at this time.
So she was intending to sleep in the tent on the,
Yes, she did.
did she mention at all like how she was going to be advocating, raising awareness, projecting her cause while she was trying to raise awareness?
I mean, different, I think signage and some of it kind of turned political in her
Well,
discussion.
I'm good with signage. I just wanted to make sure she wasn't just sleeping in the tent in the front yard. I'd like her to get her message out if she's gonna do it.
Right. No,
But, yeah,
I did tell her she could not stay in the tent unless she has the insurance.
I'd say at this point we can table it. I don't like the idea of somebody sleeping on our front yard either.
Well, I'm actually, like I said, I might call her back and make sure she has resources if it's, make sure she does have a place to stay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the next item is food and beverage tax.
That used to be on this side. Okay, so I'm wearing the hat of the aquatic committee that's working on a replacement aquatic center for the pool. I was contacted, unfortunately, this is how this whole process has gone. I know we've had some information about the potential of a food and beverage tax for Decatur County. I was contacted on Wednesday from the chairman of Ways and Means, Chairman Thompson, asking for supplemental information showing that there is support for us to have the opportunity for a food and beverage tax. And of course, he needs it short term by this week. So both of our attorneys, both the commissioner's attorney and the county council's attorney, were on vacation last week, which made it very difficult to get anything officially written up. Brian Robinson from the EDC was actually on vacation and at least drafted a potential letter to start with. We did not have time to advertise for something as strong as a resolution. So we thought if we could at least provide a letter of intent and or a memorandum of understanding to the chairman to use in his proceeding of giving us the opportunity for a food and beverage tax, that would at least be in support. I actually am going to be at the State House on Wednesday for a whole nother reason. So hoping to get this finalized and signed to take to him in a timely manner to proceed. So a little bit about the food and beverage tax. It actually would be added to the state budget. That's how when several of us went to meet with Randy Fry at the State House very early on in January, it was proposed to us would be the best way to attempt to do this. So that this is the second half of this session. It will be added on. There is a potential that we will have to come testify before the Ways and Means further on this.
And so I just wanted to make sure that this information was out in public before we actually present it to the chairman of Ways and Means. Again, this is a rough draft. Unfortunately, the attorneys were on vacation and I wasn't. I attempted many times this weekend. So what my hopes would be is to get with the attorney today to finalize this and have a final version to present to council tomorrow, and then have a revisit of potentially signing it at council meeting and executive session that follows council meeting. So I'm going to read it in out loud. I'm happy to take any comments, any updates about it after I read it, but I want it to be read in public so people hear it. And again, remember, this is a rough draft. There are a few things that might be missing from this. So Chairman Thompson and members of the Ways and Means Committee, this document is to serve as a formal letter of intent stating Decatur County's desire to begin the process allowed by Indiana Code for the implementation of a food and beverage tax. We see this action as an attempt to take full advantage of the community's assets and resources, particularly its strategic location between two metropolitan areas on Interstate 74, toward funding quality of life projects that will enhance the lives of current residents and serve to attract newcomers to our area. Our intent is based on research conducted by an aquatic center committee determined to explore funding sources to address the numerous investments needed in our parks, fairgrounds, and aquatic facilities. Amongst other data, the committee highlighted the following information. 52% of a food and beverage tax is likely to be paid by non-Decatur County residents. And there's an example here that includes one of our interstate truck stop visitors. Over 95% of their visitors are not from our area. So the tax would be being recouped by over 50% of folks that aren't even, the stress is not put on our county residents. The results of the survey of over 70 businesses conducted through the Greensburg-Decatur County Chamber of Commerce showed a majority supported a food and beverage tax for the community if the funds were designated towards the improvement, development of quality of life infrastructure. And an estimated, and this is actually a low estimation, an estimated 300 to 400,000 can be raised through a food and beverage tax for Decatur County, providing a much needed revenue stream for larger long-term investments in quality of life projects. In the discussion surrounding the development of this funding source, the primary project to be addressed is the deteriorating state of the community's public pool. At over 60 years old, this staple of the community is beyond repair and requires replacement. And as a key attraction in the community's city park and fairgrounds area, its enhanced redesign has already garnered enthusiastic support amongst the general public and will serve as a regional draw. This project, combined with the reimagining of our fairgrounds property, will require considerable investment, and we feel such expenditures easily fall within the designated uses set by Indiana Code for revenue collected from a food and beverage tax. In accordance with this letter of intent, we ask that the Indiana legislature allow for the establishment of a food and beverage tax for Decatur County. We feel it will serve as an important funding stream towards capitalizing on the community's strengths and stand as essential for the further growth of our county.
What all does the food and beverage tax?
So food and beverage tax is focused on prepared foods and beverages. So anything that is actually, so in other words, a grocery store visit would not be something that would be taxed unless you're going to a deli counter to buy a sandwich for lunch or something that has actually been prepared.
And how much is that tax?
We are proposing, it could be up to 2%, we're proposing 1%. So a penny on the dollar.
So you buy a $10 lunch at Burger King.
10 cents.
You're talking 10 cents.
Yeah.
And why do you think that the $300,000 to $400,000 raised annually is low?
So both our tourism department and the EDC has access to a program called Placer, which is how we came up with the amount of percentage of folks that are coming in from out of our county. And estimates from them ranged as high as 700,000. So we have several different resources coming in from different directions. So we have, that's something that we really want to know a little bit more before we get into this process, is what is a really good estimate on that. Placer does not give every place, demographics on every place. So we'd have to kind of, some of that has been an estimation.
So at this point, with this, this letter or this understanding, if the state were to pass it, does that mean that Decatur County automatically has a food and beverage tax?
No, we would still have to go through an ordinance. We'd still have a lot of discussion on how best to use it and all of that. It would just gives us the opportunity to do that. My fear is that if we don't take advantage of, I mean, it's been running through a lot of circles to get this far. And being that this is a budget year and we've been told the best way to do this is to add it to a budget, I fear that if we don't get it accomplished this year, it will be 2025 by the time we have another opportunity. And the funds that we have currently committed, we have $3 million already committed towards the project via READY grants and via ARPA money. Those funds have to be committed by 2020, the end of 2024, and used by 2026. So we would not be able to have this in our pocket as a potential funding source in time for using those towards the project.
And is this money only going to be able to be used for the aquatic center, or is that what it's going to be earmarked for?
No, as we stated in the letter, we actually mentioned also potential fairgrounds and quality of life, other quality of life projects. Again, probably because we don't know for sure what that range is going to end up at. We want to be able to use it for multiple things if possible, but definitely it would be focused on quality of life projects, which I don't know that we've ever really had a focus in our community on quality of life projects long-term before.
What do you envision, like, for what a quality of life project is?
Well, obviously the aquatic center would be a quality of life. Upgrades to the fairgrounds would be another thing. Potentially we're working with a group right now that's doing a long-term study of best use practices for the fairgrounds. So updates we can make, maybe an amphitheater, things like that. That would be things that the community could use. Potentially to the parks too. We've talked about using it for that, upgrades to the parks.
I think I got my question.
Well, it upsets me that this thing's kind of been an end around. You know, I got home last night at 10 till 12 and I got this email. And I need to make this decision this morning. I don't like being rushed about decisions like this.
None of us do. Unfortunately, that's the situation the state put us in on that.
Well, maybe we put ourselves in that position with the state. You know, if we were notified Wednesday, why weren't we notified Thursday? Not that that really made any difference in my mind.
In the email, it said that I reached out to the attorney on Thursday. That attorney was on vacation, so, and I didn't find that out till the end of Thursday. So then I reached out first thing Friday morning to our attorney. I found out that attorney was on vacation. I marked the email urgent. I've still not heard back from him. So unfortunately, for some reason, all of our resources were on vacation at the same time, which I do not feel that's appropriate either. Typical jobs, if you have somebody on vacation, you have a backup, and apparently we do not.
I believe ours is on vacation this week also.
Maybe that's why he hasn't gotten back to me. To the credit of the commissioner's lawyer, we did talk. He did speak to me. We did have opportunity to talk, but.
Yeah, he had called me after I think he had talked with you or you had left him a message.
And ultimately, the commissioners don't make a decision on food and beverage tax anymore.
No, no, certainly don't.
And again, this is just a letter. This is not voting on whether we're going to do it or not. It's just a vote to show that we're open to the opportunity to be able to do it.
My stance on it is to sign it to give us the possibility or to give us the ability to have that discussion for a later date. Is my viewpoint on it. I don't see the harm in signing it right now so that we can have those discussions, get more information about exactly how many people from other communities are coming here, how much money we're actually talking about raising, so that we can actually move this process to see if it's actually something that's viable. To see if we actually even need 1% for what we're looking for. I guess that would be my motion then, is to approve the letter at this point.
And I'll second that.
Anything else?
Are we gonna sign an updated version?
Yeah. We want to make it sure if possible, to pass it through a lawyer before we
Sure.
send it off, so. Again, I've emailed him again this morning, hoping for a response. Thank you.
Thank you, Deanna.
Anything else?
Eric Logic?
Good morning. Was the sheriff presented to you guys early this year on our aging fleet. We've got 12 vehicles currently in the fleet between 101,000 and 187,000 miles. We're looking at moving our first 4 vehicles. We've got 8 that we're going to try to rotate through this year. The first 4 that we're going to get through are 3 vehicles that are not in rotation. They're unserviceable. They've been setting for at least 3 years and haven't been moved at all. And one of them is an admin vehicle that's not suited to be on patrol. It's a straight administrative vehicle. So we're going to just trade those. First one is a 13 Charger that's unserviceable, 145,000 miles. It hasn't been driven in probably 3 or 4 years. The second is a Toyota Sienna van, a 2000. It's got 151,000. It was a investigation vehicle. Hasn't probably been driven in 4 or 5 years. The third one is a 15 Explorer with 141,000 miles. And the last one is a 17 Durango, right at 100,000 miles. We're going to trade those in and purchase, cover the cost of purchase of another investigative vehicle out of commissary. So we just need your stamp of approval to move those vehicles. Those are the first 4 of the 8 for this year. So.
I don't have an issue with that. Do we need an actual motion on that one, Lord? Yeah, I'd make that motion. Do we need to actually have like bins or anything for that so that we're identifying exactly which vehicles it is?
Some titles.
Yeah.
I've got all that information. I'll give it to you. And then the second matter is just a courtesy to you guys, let you know that we've retired the department's canine. He was purchased through donation funds, so no budgeted money was used for his purchase. He was retired. I think he's between 5 to 6 years old, and we started fundraising for his replacement, looking 2024 to before we put a new canine program in. So just for your guys' information on that.
Retirement precinct.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta do it. He's insured.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and those vehicles will need to be taken off insurance.
Yes, yeah, I've got all the information. I'll get it to you.
Also have an invoice here for Strand and Associates for their work on the highway department. Current invoice is $25,660. That can be sent over to economic redevelopment. I'm sorry.
And do we know what that one was for?
That's for services on the final design of the highway garage. That was up to 700,000.
I think we budgeted 756,000. I'm not sure where we're at on it.
This puts it to 674.
Do what?
And this will put it to 674.
Okay. I think that's what it was, 756.
I'd move to approve.
Anything else? Motion to recess.
Second.
We are recessed. Thank you all for coming.
So crazy. Just for the south. Yeah, I know. It's just, it's crazy.
You gonna go? Yeah, where you going? Probably one of these. Say something. Yeah, go on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Daryl, I'm not sure the